Welcome to another conversation with the Brothers of Two Complex. We appreciate y'all for clicking on this video. But before we get into the content, make sure you like the video, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the bangers that we drop every single week. We appreciate the support. Enjoy the video. We definitely on opposite sides of this because I think you're going to have something crazy to say, and I'm going to be like, bro, you wildin'. But
I don't think so.
Really? Because we were talking about this earlier in the week, and you...
I don't think I will, but go ahead. Because I can't remember the conversation, honestly.
So, Austin Rivers goes on the Pat McAfee show. Mm-hmm. And he comes... I ain't going to say that like that. He says something that the social media went crazy with. And he says that he could take 30 NBA players right now and put them in the NBA, but don't know any NFL players...
In the NFL, he put them.
That's what I meant to say. That's what I meant to say. He could take 30 NBA players and put them in the NFL right now, but don't know any NFL players that he could put in the NBA. D-Lo, how do you feel about this? Because me personally, you know our background. You know my background. You know our background. Yeah. We play both sports.
Yeah.
What do you think, bro? What do you think?
Well, first off, I don't think there's 30 players in either league that could play in. You can drop them in the other league and they'll be successful. I just don't think that's going to happen. They're professionals for a reason. All of them are great athletes, but they're professionals in those leagues for a reason. They either they've practiced hours and hours upon hours a day in their craft to be who they are in those leagues, whether they're the starter and the top tier player or the last person on the bench. Every last one of them individuals, they're there for a reason. But people act like NFL players aren't athletes, and like they just big, strong men with limited athleticism. Like that's they're sadly mistaken. Just put it that way.
Sadly mistaken.
You look at the combine every year, and that gives you all the proof of athleticism that you need for NBA for NFL players. Because you have dudes that are 6'8", 290, 300 plus pounds running 4.8, 4.7s.
Man,
that's athleticism in itself. Like how much more athletic do you want to get? And then you have cats that are 6'3", 6'4", running 4.3s, 4.2s damn near. So I mean, like, I think not to say that the NBA players don't have that type of athleticism. They can run and jump out the gym, so on and so forth. But to get to my point, I think that you will be more likely to have an NFL player transition to the NBA successfully than the NBA player transition to the NFL more successfully. And the reason for that is the physicality of
thank you, D-Lo. Thank you, D-Lo. Thank you. Go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going.
I mean, that and that's ultimately the determining factor, because if it wasn't for the physicality, I'm sure there are a lot of NBA players who probably love football more than they love basketball, and they would have played. But because of that constant impact, like nobody, they said, nah, I'm done with this. I'm going to play basketball. So, I mean, I understand what Austin Rivers was trying to say. Like, there are definitely some high caliber athletes in the NBA that could be good theoretically in the NFL, but I don't think they really want those problems.
They definitely don't want those problems, bro. Football is literally 60 car crashes in 4 quarters. Literally and that's being generous, because there's some plays, there's some games where you go to 70, 80, 90 plays. And each play is a car crash. Right. I don't know a lot of basketball players that can handle that type of contact week in, week out. And that's why football is only 17 weeks and basketball is 82 games. Basketball, all credit to it. I played basketball at a high level. I loved football because of the competitiveness, the team sport, 11 guys on each side, 70 players on the team that travel. It's 52 in the NFL, but you got it's the ultimate team sport where all 11 players have to do their assignment to be able to win the game. is there basketball players that could go to the league, to the NFL and possibly be good? Everybody know LeBron. Everybody know Dre. Everybody say LeBron. Everybody say Draymond. Everybody say this. Everybody say that because of their aggressiveness, the way they play the game of basketball. They're very high contact. But the one thing that NFL players would have to get adjusted to in the NBA is the lack of contact. Like, I think it would be one of those things where NFL players would come in and
constant lateral movement.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is that football players have some of the best footwork in the world.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, footwork wouldn't be an issue. Lateral movement wouldn't be an issue.
Weight,
they would.
Sure.
I don't even think that, bro. The crazy thing is that I seen, and granted, it's pickup,
mm-hmm.
but I seen somebody like Max Crosby, who is 6'6", 260 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Going crazy on the basketball court, shifty, moving, going crazy. Bro, basketball players would, I think there's more basketball players, and I ain't going to sit here and say they would be like LeBron James, be GOAT level, but there's a lot of basketball players, a lot of football players in the NFL that would dominate in the NBA. They would go crazy, give buckets. There's players who had D1 scholarships to go play basketball in high school that chose football over basketball because they just love the sport. Like, the fact that Austin Rivers probably never played a lick of football in his life. Football has made more basketball players than basketball has made basketball players.
That is 100% a fact.
That's 100% a fact. Our high school basketball team was probably 70% football players.
I think that's a bigger number. It's probably 40%, almost 50.
Our senior year. I'll go with that. I'll go with that. I'll go 50%. I go 50%. Yeah. But 8 out of 15 players is a lot of football players.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Right. So, like, and the crazy thing is, and I'll be remiss if I didn't say this, they was trash before they got us. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I mean, they didn't. Stick said that. I didn't say that. I would never.
I ain't gonna lie. And if somebody's watching this and y'all was on the team with us, y'all know the truth. Y'all know the truth. Y'all was trash before. Y'all was trash before November. Y'all was trash before November. So don't even act like that. Don't even act. And even in college when I played in Central. Come on. Yeah. What are we talking about?
This is my thing. You have never from what I know, it could very well be different. You have never seen a scholarship basketball player go play football in college, but you've seen multiple football players go play basketball.
Yes, multiple. And the crazy thing is, in my experience, I didn't even go to school for basketball.
Right.
I went to school for football. I ended up gaining a dual scholarship because the coach at Central found out that I was good at basketball at high school, and he came to the football field and low-key begged me to play.
Yeah.
I played 2 years of college basketball because the coach was like, all right, cool, come play. I know you was nice in high school. Come play. I want you to play. I want you on the team. And gave me a scholarship. Right. I was like, I'm not even here for this. I'm not even here for this. You don't hear that happen, bro. Like, that contact will fold basketball players, bro.
Right.
But football is a sport that you have to love to play because you're going to get beat up every single week. Every single Saturday and Sunday, you're going to get beat up. Sometimes Thursday. Not Thursday all the time. But you're going to get beat up. Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Like, you're going to get beat up. Friday, Saturday for college, of course. But you're going to get beat up in high school. You're going to get beat up every single week. Yep. So what are they talking about? There is not many basketball players that's going to go crazy.
Yeah. It's even some football players, raise my hand, that don't really like contact like that. You know what I mean? And so obviously I didn't play that much at Wake. I didn't go pro like Sticks and like others that I know close that do like that contact and did go pro. You know what I mean? So it's just a different sport, man. And again,
I'm gonna slow you down, D-Lo. I ain't like getting hit now.
Well, yeah,
I didn't like getting hit, but
yeah,
I didn't. Yeah. But if I got hit, it hyped me up. You see what I'm saying? Like I didn't, but I didn't want to. I caught the ball, got as far as I could, and fell because I didn't want you to touch me. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
And no, all good. And so I'll even go a step further. It got me to thinking maybe I should have done the opposite. It should have took basketball more seriously and tried to play. But then I would have. That's the only thing. That's the only difference with football players and basketball players is the height difference, right? Like the majority of basketball players are on the taller end. So like Steph Curry looks like he don't look like a midget, but he looks like a very miniature. He looks like a miniature version of everybody else on the court. Steph Curry 6'3". You got the bigger receivers, bigger DBs are 6'3", 6'5".
6'3", 6'5". Yep.
So that means that I would have to guard Steph Curry, chase him around the court all the time, or Allen Iverson. Like that's the only difference. That's the only difference. But if the person, if you have an elite athlete that's playing football, I think the transition to basketball is more easier with some practice than a basketball player transitioning
going to play football
to football and getting that contact week in, week out, every play.
The biggest thing for me, and you mentioned the whole NFL thing, right? Two things. The biggest difference for me going from college to NFL was the speed of the game. Everybody's fast, right? I came into the league running 4.38, 4.39, and I catch the ball in practice with Miami, and you got Jason Taylor catching me at an angle. You got Joey Porter catching me at an angle. You got Channing Crowder catching me at an angle. I'm fast, or what was. I run a forever now, but I was fast back in the day.
Right.
You got defensive ends who are 6'4", 6'5", 270 pounds chasing you down, and you're a fast individual.
Right.
Going from football to basketball was my biggest adjustment was the speed of the game. It was so much slower. Like I felt like I was bouncing around. Like I felt like I was, you know what I'm saying? I was going too damn fast at some points. Right. But I had I don't I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna stand on it. I don't know many basketball players that's running low for anything in 40s. I don't think there's many of them in the NFL that's doing that.
That's running what?
Low for anything. Like I would go so far as to say I don't think there's a lot of basketball players that run 4.5 or lower.
I think that's a stretch. It's just because they don't run 40s.
They don't do explosive things. They don't do explosive workouts either. But still, yeah,
they have some fast cats in the NBA. This is the last thing I'll say about this. In basketball, one person can get you to the NBA Finals every year. In football, it takes multitudes of individuals to get you in the playoffs every year. Honestly, like it can't just be one person. We have never seen just one person outside of the quarterback position to get a team to the playoffs every year. But in basketball, one person, just one can get you to the playoffs and to the championship every year. That speaks to the athleticism of the NFL.
It does. But this is going to sound arrogant as hell me saying this. But I was an independent All-American my senior year of college at North Carolina Central University. And I didn't care about basketball. My cousin James, if he sees this, my cousin James always tells me I was better at basketball than I ever was at football. And the reason why I was good at basketball is because I didn't care. I didn't care. You literally used basketball to stay in shape for football. I didn't care about basketball at all. I just went out there. You would catch me on the court. I'm dancing around. I'm being silly. I don't care, bro. I didn't care, but was All-American in college. Didn't give. I played. I left the NFL, came back to college with a scholarship, and the only reason why I went back to school is because they gave me a scholarship. The only reason why I played is because they gave me a scholarship. Otherwise, I would have just been probably wouldn't have graduated without it. Thank you, coach. But
That's crazy. Man went pro and came
I didn't care.
Man was it doing NIL before NIL?
Well, I still had a year left, so they kept me on the, you know what I'm saying? But
you can't do that nowadays, though, right?
I think it's still a running clock from the time you step foot on the court, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know all the rules, to be perfectly honest, but my running clock was from freshman year to quote unquote senior year in football, because I came in playing football. But whenever I played basketball my sophomore year of college, I was still a freshman on the court.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, I think you can't do it that way now. I think it whenever you start whatever, I think I could be wrong. Whatever sport you start, that's when your clock starts.
Your actual eligibility clock starts.
Yeah,
that's not how it was back when we was in school. But I was a freshman my sophomore year in basketball. I went to NFL, came back to school. I was a senior still, a senior in basketball. So, but I played basketball with no care in the world. That's how easy it was for me as a football player to play basketball. Because it was just because I was just more physical than everybody else. I was stronger than everybody else, because football is more of a power sport. Basketball is more of a finesse sport. And, but it's just, I don't think Austin Rivers understood what the hell he was talking about when he said that. Because he probably has never played football in his life. So he probably has no experience in what the fuck he said. And it was like, bro, you got to be dumb. Like, there's so many more football players that are coming in the NBA and be good players than NBA players going to the NFL and being good players. They would not. I can probably name one.
Theoretically.
Period. The fuck? Like, no, I'm standing on that. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying for me, again, I started out my statement saying I don't think there's 30 players on either side that can transition to play those respective sports. You would be
hard pressed to find 30 NBA players, but you wouldn't be so hard pressed to find 30 NFL players. Yeah. You wouldn't be so hard pressed. You would find more NFL players than you would find NBA players
that could actually make the roster. No,
yes,
I don't think you would. I don't think you'd be hard pressed to find that. NBA going to NFL, I think you'd be, just because of the physicality. Now, if we take physicality out, if it's flag football, then
we're not talking about flag. No, we're not talking about flag.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. I know. Yeah. That's why I said. But if we're talking flag football, then it'd probably still be tough, but you could. Because flag football can get a little physical sometimes.
You can have contact in flag, yes, 100%.
Exactly. But if we're talking flag, then you'll have more individuals in the NBA that could go to the play football professionally. Mm-hmm. But I don't. Yeah. Yeah.
You will find 30 NFL players before you ever find 30 NBA players. Ever.
Yeah. That want to do it willingly.
Willing, yeah, facts.
Yeah.